My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of the live-action remake of The Little Mermaid. And this review will have spoilers, so there's your warning. But I had zero excitement for this movie. I didn't even see it in theaters. It looked awful, and I just really hate these live-action remakes. Mulan, Pinocchio, and The Lion King, the live-action remakes, are three of the worst movies ever made, in my opinion. They're completely unnecessary, like they do not need to exist, and it feels like a spit in the face of the animated classics. The movies that made Disney the company it is today, it feels like they're saying, you're just cartoons. You're not good enough. You're not real movies. And I really despise that mindset. Because most of the time with these live action remakes, the classic originals are usually tighter and better, and that's the case here. Like, I love the story we've got about a mermaid who wants to be a part of the human world, and how she falls in love with a prince, and how her father forbids it, and how she turns to an evil sea witch to make a terrible deal that costs her her voice and maybe her life. All of that I really love, but it was done much better and in a much tighter fashion in the animated classic. And it's not like, oh, they're just kind of the same. No, they are the exact same movie, except somehow they made this one an hour longer, and boy, do you feel it. But like, just because a movie's a remake doesn't mean it has to be the exact same. I thought Aladdin could have been a great opportunity to get rid of the musical aspect, to play it straight, to have a different take on the genie, and to make that story its own. But then they just had every song, they just captured the same personalities, and I'm like, why would I ever watch this movie when I could just watch a much better version of it? You know, you take a movie like Cactus Flower. I think that is a great 60s movie. And then you get the modern remake with Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston called Just Go With It, and I think that's a very entertaining movie. And yes, they've got the same story, but they feel completely different. I know this is a hard take, but I love Child's Play and the remake of Child's Play. They both got similar elements, but they feel so vastly different. So I could be in the mood to watch Child's Play or Child's Play. I could be in the mood to watch Cactus Flower or Just Go With It. But if I'm ever in the mood for The Little Mermaid, I'll always choose the original. And like, some people will say it's not fair for me to compare it to the original, but why not? Like, you're literally recreating the scenes. So I'm just watching the movie and I'm just like, why did Ursula say pathetic like that? I liked it when she did it to the side. Or why did they change this and why did they do that? And it's just filled with all these baffling decisions, and it just reminds me that even if this movie was better than what we got, it would still be completely unneeded. And I must repeat myself, the animated does it better in an hour less. Like, that should be commended. You know, I feel like studios don't value your time now. Almost every movie is too long, and I definitely felt it here. Then we get to the cast, and Halle Bailey, anytime I say her name, I almost say Halle Berry. It throws me off. But Halle Bailey, I don't think she was good. I think her performance was very flat. I know there was a bunch of controversy surrounding her, and at the end of the day, I don't really care about any of that stuff. I understand why some people might want their Ariel to look like Ariel from the original movie, but in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter. I just wish she gave a better performance here. I know everybody was talking about her incredible singing voice, but here's my hot take. She might be a good singer, but also the kind of singing which draws attention to itself. Well, it always felt like someone in a studio singing a song, and I felt like Jodie Benson's voice performance had more emotion to it. And yes, like I said, comparisons are completely fair. So I don't know. I hope whatever she does next is better than this, and hopefully she gives a better performance because I was not impressed. Jonah Hauer-King was like the worst part of this movie acting wise because I thought he was so bland and lifeless and he had zero personality to him. David Diggs, okay, look, I'll get to the visual effects in a bit. He's really annoying. I hated Sebastian. His character just felt so over the top and it didn't work for me. Aquafina, I'll get to the new songs, but she can be a good actress. Watch The Farewell, but she is not a good actress here, and I don't know. I wish she picked dramatic roles more often. Jacob Tremblay played Flounder. Flounder. Huh? Who knew he was in this movie? He leaves zero impression. He's in it for the sake of it. Could have easily been written out. Norma Demasrini plays Eric's mom, and I found she had nothing to do. Art Malik, he plays a father figure of Eric, and I actually think he gave my favorite performance. It's not like he has a ton to do, but he always felt genuine in his line delivery, and I really liked that. Javier Bardem, I thought was perfectly casted as King Triton, but I don't know what he's doing here, but this is a terrible performance. And then we get to Melissa McCarthy, and look, she's fine. She gives one of the better performances of the movie, no doubt. But once again, it just feels like an imitation of Pat Carroll's performance as Ursula. You know, like, it just feels like a recreation. It just feels like there's nothing new here. You know, I love Brad Dourif as Chucky. I also love Mark Hamill as Chucky, and I feel like they both give very different takes. And I feel like Melissa McCarthy could have played, like, a less sinister version of Ursula. Well, she's still trying to kill Ariel, but she's a lot more warm and sympathetic to her, and that's how she's manipulative. Kind of like Mother Gothel and Tangled. That would have been a good spin, but it just feels like an imitation. So, not saying she's bad, I'm just saying it's nothing new. The songs. Like I said, you know, Part of Your World, I still like the music in it, and Halle Bailey still sounds nice, but it just feels overly produced. Under the Sea, yeah, not really good. And the song number was trying so hard to be like bright and colorful and all that. It really just fell flat for me. Kiss the Girl, eh. You know, like, it's just, once again, there's better versions of these songs that exist. I never listened to Will Smith's version of Friend Like Me. That's in the movie. They end credits is a different story. But I always listen to Robin Williams because that's just the better version. And same with all the old songs in this movie. But then we got some new songs. Okay, two of them are completely forgettable, add nothing, and are complete wastes of time. But then we get to Scuttlebutt. And this song is a crime against humanity. It is so bad. It is so annoying. It is so cringy. It is baffling how someone, Lin-Manuel, wrote this song. And it got okayed, and then people sung it, and it got okayed, and then it got animated and edited, and nobody stopped this song. Just truly baffling. I really like the soundtrack to Hamilton, and I know some people don't like Lin-Manuel Miranda, and I've never really gotten it, and then I hear this song, and I'm like, oh, now I get it. There's also one song that Ariel's singing when she can't speak, and I just thought that was a really odd decision. Then we get to the direction by Rob Marshall, and the trailers to this movie looked ugly, and the movie isn't as bad looking as I thought it would be. Like, there is some moments where the undersea environment looked pretty decent, and it is bright and colorful. It's not like gray and lifeless. But the visual effects, like, okay, I'm watching Avatar 2 this week. Yeah, I'm going to bring it up. Breathtaking, just a beautiful work of art. And when you compare that to this, the comparison is night and day. Like, that movie just looks superior in every way. And, like, here, especially when it's focusing on Ariel or any of the other actors under the sea, it just looks so fake. And then we get to Sebastian, which is hideous. People watch The Lion King and they're like, oh, the issue is they look too cartoony. I mean, they look too realistic. So then this movie made them look more cartoony. And that doesn't work either. And it's like, maybe movies with live animals should stay animated. That's my take. And then we get to the last act, which I love in the movie, the animated one, where Ursula takes the trident and becomes this giant, and it's so incredible and so terrifying in the original. Like, it scared me as a kid. And here I just felt nothing. It didn't have that creep factor. It didn't have that menace behind it. I couldn't even see Ursula's face, and it just had zero impact. And speaking of Ursula, her necklace just looked like a movie prop to me. I know it is, but it just really took me out of the movie. But let's discuss some changes real quickly. One change I hated is that they got rid of the humans turning into plants. Instead, they just die. And I actually think the other version is much scarier. I hate that Ariel can't remember the deal for some reason, and it just brings up a lot of plot holes if you stop and think about it. Yes. I'm trying to think of other changes that I didn't like. I think I got them all. Okay, great. Let's talk about what I did like. And there is actually one element of this movie that rises it above a terrible piece of shit. I still hate this movie. I think it's terrible. I don't think you should watch it. But I do think Eric was well handled. Writing-wise, not the performance. Like, I love how they wrote it so he's seeking out adventure as well, and how that affects his relationship with his mom. It just makes it so him and Ariel are a better match for each other. And there's one scene where Ariel is just showing him all this different stuff in his room that he didn't know about. And I'm just like, okay, this relationship is working for me in this moment. And also when she speeds up the wagon, it shows you just how adventurous she can be. So I do like some of the changes they made to Eric's character quite a bit. But everything else in the movie is just more of the same, but done in a much worse fashion. It's not as entertaining as the original. It drags a lot more. The visuals are really ugly. The cast really fell flat for me. It just... If you want to watch The Little Mermaid, if you want to experience this great story, then just watch the much superior animated version. This is one movie I can confidently say I'll never watch again. So I'll give The Little Mermaid a 2.5 out of 10. Okay, have you seen the bad Little Mermaid? What did you think about it? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, stay tuned for more videos soon, and Gavin out.